Welcome. My name is Hermann Gier and I'd like to give you a quick run through about our new surround monitor controller, the SMC 7.1. The SMC is a product, or is a development of a product that we already started like 10 years ago, or it's even longer, it's like 13 years ago, with the SMC that had 5.1 channels. This was a huge, and still is a huge success for us, and very many users said, well, we're in 7.1 world and games are getting to 7.1, we need 7.1 controllers. So this is what we now developed. The 7.1 controller with a few new bells and whistles and a new technology that we're using in here. It's not new, but in here we have a microcontroller that scans the front panel knobs and switches so that we have we can store certain settings that makes working with the SMC just so much slicker than it was possible with the all analog SMC 5.1. Analog, the audio path also in here is still analog. And also means that our big potentiometer up here is an 8-gang high precision potentiometer that is being exclusively made for us. So from the basic feature set, we have the possibility to connect two 7.1 inputs. Now, as you can see here, we have a 7.1 input and all of the channels, the 8 channels are already activated. I can mute them, switch them on individually. I can put in a second source 7.1 input, and you can see here only 6 channels go on because this is a 5.1 input. And the unit always remembers the last setting that has been made with an input. Now let's assume you only have like a 3.0 or 3.1 input on this. Just deselect them. We go over to the first input and you see all of the 8 channels are activated automatically here. And now I'm switching over to the input number 2 and my latest setting is being recalled. Then you have 2 stereo inputs that you can connect as well. Now, pressing stereo immediately activates only left and right. Going back to the surround inputs, we have 2 solo modes that help make working with so many speakers so much easier. The first thing is solo in place. Now, if you hit solo in place, all of the 8 channels go off. And now you select one, in this case it's your rear surround, and you would just listen to the rear surround. Now you can hit any other speaker and only that speaker will be audible in the position in the room. Now you want to listen to that in front of you. So you want to not hear it in the back of the room, but you want to put that speaker information into the front of you. So that's the second solo mode. And that solo mode is called solo to center. So if I hit solo to center, then you can see that the center is being activated and my left channel is blinking. That means I'm listening to the left channel through the center speaker. If I press the right channel, the LFE, left surround, right surround, now the blinking channel is the one that you're listening to through the center speaker. Let's switch solo off. We have 2 more functions, a general mono for left and right, and an alt speaker, alternate speaker. This is a second stereo speaker that can be put to the unit, connected to the unit. You have a headphone switch here that activates and deactivates your headphone output over here. And the last feature is a general mute button that switches off all of the channels. Okay, now let's take a look at the rear panel of the SMC 7.1. As you can see, all of the 8 channel inputs and outputs are using a DB25 connector, this is for 7.1 input number 1, number 2, and the speaker output. So this is all balanced in and outputs. For the stereo inputs, We have Neutrik connectors, XLR connectors for the input number 1, input number 2. The alternate speaker output is also Neutrik connectors here as XLRs, and we have a dedicated sub output. Now this is for a 2.1 configuration in the stereo, so you can drive a sub with them. And finally we have jacks, stereo jacks, which also is a balanced output for metering output. So you can connect VU meters or RTWs or whatever you have there, and get a metering directly out of the box. But it's a stereo metering in that case. It's not an 8-channel metering, I have to say. The SMC 7.1 can be mounted in a 19-inch rack, just like our Phonitor 2. We call this the expansion rack because it's not just a 19-inch rack mount. It has an additional feature which is very, very handy. It splits the stereo input passively into 4 outputs. Now let's assume you're working with the 7.1, but you also have like various stereo speakers that you want to still keep on monitoring and using. Then it's a very good advice to order or to mount the SMC in an expansion rack. You connect the stereo outputs from the SMC to the stereo input on the expansion rack, and this gives you a 4-way passive switcher so that you can run 4 different stereo speakers. Our 2 new beautiful SMCs are available in 2 colors, in silver, anodized silver over here, or anodized in black over here. And if you order this together with the expansion rack, obviously the expansion rack has the silver and black colors as well to choose from. Well, that's it. I hope you liked it and get a little bit of an overview on the SMC, and well, wish you all the best and see you soon. Bye bye.